We're going to talk about some tools for precarious times because this shizzle is effed up. Many of us saw it coming. It is so easy to get warped in the head. It is so easy to be a little floating duck on the tides. And I get that you care. And I want you to care. I don't want you to quit caring. But to be able to care, we have to learn how to care from a grounded place. This is nuanced. It's not absolute. Above all, I want you to trust yourself. Anything I say that doesn't resonate with you, I want you to trust yourself. The world is shifting here, especially in America. In moments like these, we need more than resilience. We need tools to adapt the daily discomfort that we're going to go through. And I have a lot of people come to me on coaching sessions and say, I don't know what to do. That makes sense. A lot of us don't know what to do. But I want to give you some of the things that you can do so that you can access more inner clarity, more inner courage, more inner confidence, and know what to do when you're feeling frothed and whipped and overwhelmed by all that is happening in the news. The first thing is nervous system awareness, assessment, and without shame. Of course, many of us are dysregulated and do not feel safe now. And to have a regulated nervous system, we need to feel safe. It's two opposing things. And do everything you can do to let your body know that it is safe where it is legitimately safe. In no way am I asking any of you to bypass or lie or bullshit yourself or your body. And don't do the opposite. Don't overwhelm it. So right now, in this physical moment, if you are physically safe, let your body know, yes, there's troubling things going on, and right now I'm safe, so that you can get grounded. Being able to recognize and know yourself, whether you are in a nervous system response, so fight, flight, fawn, freeze, I tend to go into freeze a lot, allows you to be intentional with your actions. And intentional is wise. If you're operating from unconscious protective coping mechanisms, you are more likely to be able to be controlled. Pause, scan your body, get in the habit of just regularly, tuning in and doing assessment. Oh, yeah, I'm feeling really relaxed, regulated, strong from the inside out. Oh, no, I'm feeling really whipped around by all the things I'm seeing on social media. Probably legitimately, but just be able to recognize that. Oh, I'm feeling shut down. I'm feeling the need to disassociate. Whatever it is, take some time to understand yourself and how your nervous system is and is responding, and then understand what you can do to bring yourself. Listen, for some of us, man, if you have a chronically dysregulated nervous system, it may take years. I'm not talking about being in kumbaya state, but I am talking about a vision of being centered, grounded, determined. And we do that through internal calming, through breath work, through connecting our head to our bodies. A lot of my people, our heads disconnect from our bodies. And what I mean by that is we rise into overthinking, overplanning, and strategizing. I'm not telling you to knock those out and not do them. I just want them to be connected to the wisdom and truth of your bodies. Every single one of you watching this, you have a capital K knowing. And I get that feels uncertain because most Everything is taught you to source outside. What do I do? What's going to happen? Certainty, control. But if you really knock down to it and you go to that core wise self, and even if there's tons of anxiety right now, see what you can do to access your core wise self. And you may not want to trust it because you've been gaslit the fuck. I get it. And you, capital K-N-O-W, from this deep core rooted place in your body. And it's okay for those two things to exist. It's okay for that knowing to exist alongside all this other doubt. Just make space for that voice too. Regulating your nervous system, understanding your parts, right? The parts of you that are going off, and being able to access the wise parts of you gives you the capacity to engage with intention, with subversion if you need to, with wisdom instead of all willy-nilly. Number 2, I call these nurturing practices. You take your dang meds, you drink your water, you eat your protein. It sounds so simple and silly, but be absolutely disciplined. And listen, that is hard for someone like me who has ADD, but it is imperative that you take your self-care. And I don't mean get your nails done. I mean you care for your mind, your body, your digestion, your rest, your movement as best as you can. You do your nurturing practices. If you meditate, meditate. If you journal. And to do all of these, I realize that this is not easy. It's a heavy mental load to be able to do all these things. That can feel overwhelming. And it's what gives you strength from the inside. Okay? And so if that means you need to say no to other things in your life that are taking up time and energy, this might be a time where you say no to external things a whole lot more so that you can say yes to yourself. We cannot be present for the work ahead if we're depleted. Protect your energy. It's strategic. It's wise, right? So give yourself some, and I don't mean shame-based rules, but give yourself some guideline and some structure around how you'll take care of yourself, how you'll dip in and out of the news. You know yourself. You know what your coping mechanisms are. From this place of being grounded, when we are calm, and I don't mean calm down. I don't mean that kind of calm. I mean grounded, centered. When we are connected to ourselves, when we are connected and not dismissive. So I am not dismissive of my fears. I am actually connected to my fears, but I am not led by them. I may be informed by them, but I will not be led by them. And this is one of the places where I think parts work and IFS modality is so a tool for the times that we're in, because we don't have to disassociate from really important things, but we also don't have to be drug around by them either. And so we call this self-leadership. One of the questions I ask my clients all the time is, how do you want to be with yourself during this difficult time? Not what do you want to do, but how do you want to be with your anxiety? How do you want to be with your fear? How do you want to be with your dread and your overwhelm? If you were able to conjure the wisest part of you, how do you want to be with yourself? And a lot of times just that question snaps them back into a little bit of perspective. It gives you permission to say, yeah, I'm scared, I'm overwhelmed, I'm pissed off. Of course you are. We are not bypassing these parts. We are leading these parts of us. This all helps us to gain clarity and confidence and courage from the inside. if you're my people, I know you get this. And it's a little difficult to talk about because there aren't always words for it. But if you tap into, remember a time when you had a knowing so deep in your body, maybe the rest of the world around you didn't agree, thought you were nuts, but you had that calm, grounded confidence, even if you were afraid. There's a determined soulness to it versus being all up in your head in a frantic response. And what we're looking to do here is create the space for that grounded courage versus that frantic fight. When we take care of our nervous systems, when we connect with ourselves and lead with our parts, then we can connect with, and one of the ways you may want to regulate your nervous system is co-regulating with other people. Not co-frothing with other people, but co-regulating with other people. Getting together with other people who are determined to be grounded and centered and grounded and centered is not so that we can sit on a little meditation pillow, but so that we can be wise, so that we can be clear, so that we can be discerning, so that we can be creative. One of the things that I think is, I have this vision right now of the current administration running around like Godzilla, awkward, just smashing shit up left and right. No ability to actually create and to lead, but just destroying stuff willy-nilly. I get that is very disruptive. And we can out nervous system that, we can outsmart that. It helps us to stay engaged without burning out when we take care of ourselves from the foundation up. We need to be building connection and community. Once we've established internal steadiness, we can engage with the world in more meaningful ways. True leadership comes from a place of self-awareness, not reactivity. Not everybody is meant to be on the front lines. Sustainable activism honors different roles. Please be making decisions, be resourcing for answers from your core, right? From your shoulders, your heart, your belly, your gut, your hips, not from just your head. You don't have to throw out your head. Be accessing that wise self. There are many people that are meant to be on the front lines, and if that is you, I want you to know I love and appreciate you. And there are so many different ways that we can be a part of solution instead of just running around saying the sky is falling, even if the sky is falling. Find or create spaces of connection. As we connect with other people and find our role within community and within the collective, we each are able to pick up the pieces of the puzzle that make the collective whole. So for example, in dog rescue, what you would see online is like, oh, we have the new foster and, there's the visible pieces, the front lines. Not everybody is meant to be on the front lines. In our rescue organization, there are so many pieces behind the scenes, the veterinary care, the transport, the home visits, the paperwork. There are different pieces of the puzzle that we in community together create a whole organization or movement. And so as you find your people and connect with your people, get involved in something. Right? Ask yourself, what are my strengths? Am I best suited for organizing, educating, providing skills, supporting others? Right? Find the roles in community that align with your skills and your capacity. We are safer in community. Individualism weakens movements. Strength lies in our relationships with one another and mutual care. Find your spaces of connection whether that's trusted family or circles of support or online communities. Staying connected will help give you opportunities to help and support instead of just waffing about online. Protect and uplift one another. Finally, stay engaged without burning out. Y'all, the urgency of the moment is real, but burnout doesn't help anybody. This is why I'm so big on the nervous system. Set some sustainable engagement rules, like set some caring discipline about how much time you'll spend online. It doesn't mean you have to totally disconnect. I'm not like that. I dip my toe in. I sometimes swim in, but set intentional limits. Check times to check the news. If you're not somebody who can handle the news, find 1 or 2 friends that can be your wise, trusted source for information that is important instead of information that's meant to overwhelm and distract you. Be sure to create space for joy and rest. Rest is resistance. Recovery is resistance. Rest is a radical act in systems that rely on us to be exhausted. Please prioritize your deep rest. Prioritize finding moments of joy. Listen, I know that word joy hasn't really entered my vocabulary a whole lot in big swaths, but if we can find moments of delight and joy, this gives us internal fuel for troubling times. Pause if you need to pause. These are definitely strange and weird times. They require courage, persistence, self-care, self-preservation, connection. Tend to yourselves, tend to your people. That way we become more effective in safeguarding ourselves and our communities. The more grounded we are, the more powerfully we can show up. Let's move with awareness, care, solidarity. Let me know how I can support you, and thank you for spending time with me here.